Welcome to the Spiritual Forum, everyone. So glad you're here. I have such an interesting guest today, and his family is here with him. Let me introduce you. Raised under harsh conditions during the Cultural Revolution in Maoist China, Yan Ming Li learned early on that he was born with a spiritual gift which he needed to keep secret. Li used his gift many times nonetheless to heal others, including members of his own family. Like a Chinese Harry Potter, Li found solace in a mysterious and powerful force he called the light. Since immigrating from China to the West in 1994, Li has shared his gift with people of every major religion. Now he feels compelled to share his inspiring story and teaching with the world. Whole body prayer is a meditation and healing technique developed by Li that returns us to original spirituality by combining ancient practices from the world's major religions. Thousands have used this method to cure themselves of stage 4 cancer and other, quote, terminal illnesses. So there's a lot of interesting things to learn today about Li. So welcome, Li, and also welcome Alex, Li's son, and Sandra, Li's wife.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Really glad you're here. This is going to be a fun interview. So, for people who are listening, there's going to be some translation in here by Li's wife, Sandra, and his son, Alex. And so, this is just going to be different than we've ever done before, but it'll be really fun. First, I want to say that I always read the books of guests on my podcast. And I think that allows me to give an honest and authentic conversation and interview. I love this book, and it really stood out amongst other books I've read because sometimes I have a little ADD, I put things down or I check things or whatever, but this one was so compelling that I kept coming back to it. I couldn't wait to read some more. So really a high endorsement for your book, Li, and your story is just so interesting. So I thought we'd start off with, if you can give us, can you give us like a brief synopsis of your early childhood in China and how you came to live under the guidance of light?
那就是讲讲你小时候的故事，你是怎么样被光所指引的？
像我现在讲吗？
对。
OK。我是从小时候啊，这个家境，因为我从小。当我记事的时候，我的父母开始就是吵架呀，几乎差不多每天都在争吵，有时候3-2天就会打架。我在这种家庭环境下长大，那么那个时候你没有办法很避免，有时候都会殃及到像很小嘛。那个时候呢，想去解决这些问题，那我从小就想怎么样才能解决。那时候一打架。非常害怕，我就开始躲。那时候我们是在中国来讲，就是说我们那个房子很小，大概就是现在我们差不多有10乘10的这么大的一个家。那么两家里头是两家住在一起，就两户人家住在一起，用一个厨房，很小的一个范围，说你没地方躲。那我们能躲的地方，我们以前的床底下是空的，比较高。放很多杂物，那我呢就小时候呢开始呢就躲在里头，避免被大人打到。那么在躲在里头的时候呢，有一天午睡的时候，那么在里头突然见到光了，那我一下进入这光里头，这种感觉，你跟他讲。
He said, I was born in China in 1964. We live in an apartment share of another family. So 10 people live in about 500 or 600 square foot places, shared one kitchen and one bathroom. My parents were factory workers and makes about combined income about $5 in 1960s. From a very young age, could be 2 or 3, I witnesses my parents constantly arguing, and every other day they even got into physical fight. About age 5, one day they got into another big fight. I saw my dad push my mom on the floor, and kicking her hard. I was so scared. You can imagine, age of 5. And since our apartment was shared, I could not hide anywhere. And I saw under the bed, they got a whole bunch of the stuff. So I curled into the bed and I huddled myself. I put my hand on my ears, try to stay away from the screaming and those horrible sounds. And very soon, I just felt I was lifted into somewhere. I didn't know where I was. And the light came. At that time, I felt light was warm, light was safe, light make me feel untouchable, but anything I don't want to hear. I just felt so peaceful. And that was the first time the light came to me. And after I opened my eyes and the room was quiet, my parents were not even home. I don't know how long it was lasted, but that was the first time the light came to my life.
Wow. I'm really curious whether you think this is like a special gift that you just have, Lee, or some people have, or do you think this is a gift that we all have but we're just not aware of?
这个礼物只有上帝给你吗？还是所有人都有的？
这个礼物不是每个人都有吧？应该是很少数的人有这种机会，能遇到这个光。那么
说是所有人都有，只是没有机会去开发。
对。
He says, from very little, when he first saw the light, he was excited. So he was keeping asking his little friends, saying, "Hey, did you see the light? Did you have it?" They says, "No. What are you talking about? You must be lying to me." So he constantly asking anybody around him, says, "Hey, I saw the lights last night. This how is it? Have you ever seen it?" Everybody looked at him thinking he was lying and he was crazy.
I get it.
To him, at that time, he didn't know what it's like. He saw everybody had it. And after he grown up all his time until now, he realized it is gift. But he always believed everybody has this talent to see the light, except we just don't know how. That's why he's teaching whole body prayer. He's hoping through the teaching, through the meditation, everybody able to see it.
Okay. All right. I think that's great. I think that's true. I think we all have the capability, but we're all kind of blocked in some way.
他说人只是被挡住了。你说是的。
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you were a young man, you learned that you could use the light to heal people. And so you ended up becoming kind of a healer and helping people with their illnesses, whether they had paralysis or disease or even had possession by demons. You talked about, releasing the demons. I thought that was fascinating. It reminded me of Jesus. So I'm just curious, we can talk about that a little bit. And also, how did you transition from being a healer to teaching people how to heal themselves?
他说你是怎么样？当然这故事很长。他说他是不是有这个能力开始去治疗别人，包括各种各样的，甚至你可以驱鬼。那他想知道你怎么样从治疗别人到最后教别人自愈。就是你
怎么来的？
你是怎么样走到这个18岁到21岁的时候？
因为我都在这个光的，我的一路下来都是在不同时期，光会给我很多的答案，让我去照这个答案去做。
然后你没说完，你是怎么样？
然后我就用这个光告诉我有这个方面的能力，怎么样去治疗很多的人，就说我去尝试。因为刚开始来的时候也不知道这个东西到底起多大的作用，我有没有这么大的能力去改变它。那我就这个尝试的过程中，对我来讲也是很惊讶的。这个病人好了。其实有时候病人好了，对我来讲，我比他们还高兴，因为我发现我有这方面的能力。能帮助他们，能改变这个，那对我来讲是说，这个光告诉我的这些，我身上具备这个能力，我有这个方面别人没有的这种很特别的礼物。那么通过很多的越治 很多的病我都没有见过，也没有听说，我也没有学过医学。那这些病每一个见到一个人呢，我就说我给你试三次。那么如果你好，你就继续；如果不好，你就走了。因为我也没有把握，刚开始的时候，那我们就开始一点没有经验，也是第一个。那么去治疗的过程中，突然发现他们好了，我就发现我多了个经验。好一种病我多了经验，各种各样，从内脏的到骨科的到任何的，反正全身的很多人病人来了，我也不知道他得什么病。那么他来了找到我，那我我会在瞬间会得到这种光的指引的时候，应该这样治疗，应该是这样去这种图片这种做，就说这些方式。那么在他们身上去做的作用的时候，意想不到的结果，很神奇的结果就会出现了。哎，他们说见好，疼痛减少，或者疼痛消失，或者有些人马上立刻第一次他们就几乎都恢复正常。比如举个例子，像小孩脱臼一样，我也不知道怎么弄。那么这个时候的我们属于现代人讲的是灵光一闪的时候，其实那个光瞬间就告诉你你应该这么做，怎么样用手，怎么样用怎么样去治疗的方式，用这个能量，哎，小孩的胳膊立马就恢复成，小孩哭的那转着拳头哭的要命。那么对我来讲，这个东西是什么？我还没有看见的时候，光就可以给你个答案，它是什么样的一个状态，你应该什么样的方式去处理，就得到一个结果。说每一次治疗都像拿到一个礼物一样。
你怎么样？后来不治疗了，开始教人了？
后来来到美国，这个
中国你就开始教了。
在中国教，一直在教到一治疗。那么一边治疗，那么在我在5岁的时候，因为我这个踢足球摔了跟头，那么这个把脚扭伤了。那么那个时候光告诉我，你可以站着，因为坐不下了，你可以站着练功。那我那一站，哎，练了这个差不多2小时，哎，这个脚跟没受伤是一样，完全我自己就会体会到这些身体的受伤啊，包括你心灵上的伤害，包括你身体的伤害，瞬间会得到解决了。那么这个得到治愈了。那我想我把这个方法去教给别人，在别人身上做这个实验，用我光告诉我的方法，那我把这个方法放到别人身上，别人也去尝试，也会得到同样的结果。我发现这个治愈人人都会具备，只是很多人并不了解这个用什么样的方法。那么这个方法得到以后，我开始在中国慢慢的治疗，有开诊所，也就一边开诊所一边教学生。那么他们学会，那有些在中国那个时候很多人没有钱治疗，那我就是教你方法。那么他们从农村来的，从很多家庭都有很多的病人，因为住了很多年10几年，都钱花光了。那个时候人的经济条件都不好，也没有现在的医疗保险，都是个人的自己拿钱去治疗。说那个时候我就最好的方式，我省钱最好方式就是你们自己处理，自己解决自己的问题，那就是治愈的方法。后来我就开始慢慢的在当地也有名了，治疗他们说都很神奇治疗。那么后来这个有人从日本来说，哎，有个日本人得了这个尿毒症，那个来到这儿说你那么治，我也是说，我那时候已经有一定经验了。他说尿毒症，我说应该没问题。然后他们说那你光说没有用啊，人家来了说那你就做一次治疗试一试。Bless you 然后这个来了，他们从日本这个尿毒症透析3天1个星期透析2次，那么他中间有个间隔就来到这个我的沈阳去治疗。差不多了。
他已经读过老爸的书了，所以这个不需要讲。
He said very long, but I made a note, so I need to describe to you.
Good.
He says, my mother was paralyzed, and I was carrying her to see different doctors. I went to see all different type of hospitals, herbalist, acupuncturist, anything I hear that could possibly heal my mother, I would carry her around. At the age of 18, I came to know Miao Qiguang is my first Qigong teacher. They claim at that time Qigong was pretty popular in China. So I carried my mom there, and he just started performing the healing. As soon as he started that kind of strange healing, somehow he felt his body got instinctively touched. He felt he already knew what he's doing at that click second. He says, of course, now he understands it's spiritual touching. He feel the whole body is like a being electronically. I don't know how to call it. He just felt it very strongly, like an electronic field go through his body. He just realized he might have the ability to heal his mother. So starting that moment, he started his healing journey to his mom. And at the age of 21, he had a chance to have his own clinic. He opened up his own clinic, and many people came to him seeking for help. And many of them didn't have money to pay, even though at that time he only charged them 25 cents per treatment, US dollar, 25 cents a nickel. But that was a lot of money for most of Asia people at that time. So he's thinking and said, I've been doing this self-healing since age 5. He tells another story. His ankle got hurt. It was very swollen. He could not walk. At that night, the standing meditation came from the lights. So he got himself healed. And he's just thinking, says, since I can heal myself, can I teach other people to heal? Instead, I heal them myself. So one of his first patients is skin cancer. The guy was very, very poor. He could not sleep. His whole body filling with watering because the skin cancer, it will never heal. The poor guy, he says, was not able to stay on bed, always have a blanket covered up whole body and smell very bad. So when the guy came to his clinic, of course, guy didn't have money and told Master Li, says, Master, I didn't have money, but I really want to heal. My family was very poor. I have 2 daughters. I just had no money. Please help me. So they kneel down and the nodding hit the head. Master Li saying, okay, if you don't have money, that's okay. Where you want to live? He says, yes. Master Li's second question is, I'm going to show you how to heal yourself, but you got to promise me you have to follow my instruction. Can you do it? The guy's knocking head says, if you tell me anything, I will do it. So Master Li is saying, okay, come to the side. So he pulled him to another, to outside, because his clinic is small, to outside. He said, I'm going to show you from today's on, you can do 1 hour every day. You cannot stop. He asked the guy, can you do it? The guy says, yes, 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 in Chinese. So that day while he was treating other people, the guy was standing outside the room, just doing this whole body prayer. And Master Li says he was kind of busy treating the patient. That the guy, he did not notice the time already, like 2 hours already passed. The guy was still there.
Okay.
And the amazing thing is, about 7 weeks, the guy feeling the itching was gone. The horrible, the watering, flowing in the watering, it's decreasing. And some of the skin starting dried it up. And they took this guy 30 days to heal himself. From this guy's story, Master Li believed that he can teach more people. And then more people come to his clinic. He just started telling them, instead of treating you, would you want to learn another meditation? At that time, they call it Qigong at that time. Says, I will teach you a Qigong. If you follow this posture, you'll get healed. More people join this group. And then this group of people used to practice in the zoo, ZOO.
Okay.
And every day the groups getting larger and larger. The largest groups over 1,000 people together.
Oh, wow.
After sun is down, they will all want to zoo because there's a, at night, there's nobody's there. They're willing to do them for free because they have a space.
Okay.
And more people get healed themselves in China. That was like when he was 21.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's an
That's a
interesting
very long
story.
story, but
Yeah, no, it's interesting because my thought is that a lot of people just want someone else to heal them. Like, just do this for me. And
yes,
so there's something that you have to overcome within yourself, or you have to have a lot of will or something to go, okay, I'm willing to do this myself. And I'm just fascinated that many people do that versus want to be more passive and be healed by him.
但是那时候为什么有这么多人愿意去练功？就是那时候人
因为那个时候的经济，很多人没有太多的余钱去看病，有很多的病人好几年的病，他们已经借钱在看病。说你刚才说一个不需要钱能好病的方法，只是自己要出力气的话，那个时候好多人都选择练功，不是跟在美国正好不同，美国人选择是治病，不需要练功。
He says that kind of situation is just opposite in today's world. Back over there, China was very poor. Every family has very limited income. And each family, if you make it $1, it means you are rich.
Okay.
So everybody went through the same life. And also medical was also limited at that time.
Okay.
Just imagine, he says, if any of the family you had, a family member, loved one, has terminal disease, if doctor told you, says, hey, you go home, enjoy rest of your months or 2 months. Some people would be willing to do anything to live.
Yes. Yes.
So it's really at that time is the willingness. Do they have second options? All those years, his teaching experience, even in the US, so many people get healed from the terminal stage 4 cancer because they have no any other options, but they want to live. So people who get healed, who wants to do the healing is there's only one condition. Do you really want to live?
Yes.
Or do you really want to have quality life? Because self-healing, the whole body prayer has no side effect. It's
right.
Your own body. It's your own chi. Chi is organic. And you are not eating those pills, killing yourself. And you are not doing this chemistry.
Chemotherapy. Yeah.
Yes, you don't have to go through them. And your nail is gone. Your hair is gone. Your teeth is gone. You're bleeding. I mean, you're suffering. Yeah, your cancer cell could be killed at a certain point, but you had no life to talk about it. Absolutely not. That's experience when he was teaching at the school, Zijiu Master School. So many people believed him because it's so organic. To Master Li is in US, we talk about organic. Why does human ever think about it? Using your own chi to heal yourself. And Master Li always saying, human has the ability. When we cut ourselves, our blood flows, right? But your blood is not flowing miles away. For certain times, your blood stopped. Why is that? Because we all have this self-healing capabilities. Our body has the system, except we don't know how to use it, how to maintain it. So that's what he's teaching, is teach people how to use your own chi to heal yourself. It's 100% healthy.
And chi, how would you define chi? Chi is the energy flow of your body.
气是一种能量，是人的最原始的生命的能量，就像一个胎儿，一个单细胞会在女人的子宫里头会生长让一个卵细胞和精子能结合，能在这个能量的这是一个我们最原始的生命能量。它会叫两个细胞会慢慢变成一个婴儿。那你发现婴儿离开了母体的时候，它这个能量会维持我们身体，会长到成年，会延续到一段时间，我们这个能量开始慢慢的消耗，我们已经开始。那么在母体内这个能量会让人有修复或再生的力量。
He says Qi is spiritual energy,
The original energy.
original life energy, and existing to all human bodies. He had example. He says, can you imagine when a sperm and egg meet? It's only 2 cells. How could 2 cells for 9 months produce a baby? That's amazing. That's a miracle, correct? He said, beginning this egg and sperm combined, it was the qi.
Oh, I love that. Yeah,
Yes,
I see that. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
He says, and also this energy carry each individually until the death. During all this 80 years, 50 years, if human does not get disease, you can live, as Bible saying, could be 120 years.
Yeah.
But how come human can't live that long? Because we don't know how to use qi. Second, we don't know how to maintain our body. Third, when we got sick, besides the pill, besides all of the modern technology, we try to use, and sometimes it is limited. Of course, it helps tremendously, he says. It helps so many lives. But what about human life? We're supposed to live 120. With modern technology, we should live 150, but it's
Yeah.
not happening.
你说上帝造人的时候，就已经告诉我们这个小腹啊，这小腹就有这个能量的发源地，就在我们的小腹，女人就能一个生命的新的生命的诞生，就是这个气，是它的能量产生作用。
When God created human, created man and woman, given the woman ability on the lower portion of the body, I need to stood up. The red here on the belly, that's our uterus, Alex?
Abdomen.
No, uterus.
Abdomen?
Yeah,
Uterus,
Yeah.
yeah, both.
Yeah, uterus is right over here. He says that's the secret
就是
of human storage of a qi.
这是我们人的
Original
能量的
spiritual qi is from
发源地。
here. That's why woman, it's here. It's not right here, but it's
Uh-huh.
here.
Uh-huh.
God purposely placed the uterus on the bottom of our belly.
我们是新的生命就在这个能量，一个细胞、2个细胞，精子和卵子就在这个能量的发源地里头会变成一个婴儿。我们在这个能量出来的时候，我们还会能变成一个成人。那么我们还会使用一段时间，开始慢慢，我们大多数是弯位的一个使用这个能量。
He said,
很少有人会摄取这个能量到我们的身体内，开发我们的这个能量的发源地。
he says the original spiritual energy was given by God. Everybody has it. Everybody has it when we're born. It comes with us for the rest of life. But the only because we don't know how to use it properly, and we could lose our life much earlier.
Uh-huh.
But everybody has gift. The gift of his spiritual energy in the lower dantian, we call it Chinese, call it dantian.
Uh-huh. Yep,
一
I'm
个
familiar with that.
别，我再讲一个 example。牛顿发现一个苹果掉在地上是万有引力，但是我们人一直在生育，一直在繁殖和生育中，我们生命都从这小腹开始。然后我们一直在生育中，我们没有发现我们的能量场就在这儿，没有发现它怎么样才能让它产生更多的能量，就像吸取这个能量，让我们的修复，我们本身人就有一个天生的就有这种治愈的能力，这种 whole body repair 的治愈能力。所以这一旦把它打开，就是我们的能量可以去像电池储存电，而不是一次使用完而已。
He said, unfortunately, most of
牛顿
people doesn't know where is the spiritual energy or life energy came from the first places. If they don't even know, it means they can't even developing, make it last longer.
Yeah,
So
well,
his job right now is try to.
Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say we live so much in our heads. There's so much energy up here. We're always thinking and planning and our heads are full. Our our attention's very rarely in the belly.
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's absolutely, you're right. That's why the whole body prayer, the unique about the whole body prayer is developing our own energy from our own body and use it. And then the energy is just like going through the Jing Mai. We talk about Jing Mai, and then get into your organ, the most important organ. It's almost like a battery. You need to charge it. When you put the chargers, electric go through the panel, go through your vehicle. Our human body is the same knowledge, same thing. Our lower belly is where the sources of the energy. And you just need to learn how to do this posture. And as long as your energy start flowing, all the disease will be gone.
能量就是 SK
This is the very first
That's
book.
one.
When he came to the United States, he was drafted. He tried to show people how this spiritual body working, talking with your physical body.
我们有2套生命体，一套是我们大家都知道我们的灵体，就是我们的心灵和我们的身体的心灵是不可见的部分，我们的身体是可见，但它们中间有一个能量场的连接，就是我们的女人的子宫那个位置。
He says, when he first started teaching, that was very first book has been printed. He says, many people understand we have physical body. The other portion, we know we have spiritual body, but most people don't understand, don't feel it. They don't know where is it, where is hiding. So to mastery is whole body prayer first would tell you everybody has a spiritual body, okay? Including see the lights. That's something you will see it for sure. You will knowing it. If you want to talk to God, you will one day, but it's a process. And first, they have to understand spiritual body. You need to find your spiritual body. You need to get into this stage. You need to fall into the emptiness. That's why when he was later on, he discovered that because he let all this mind empty, he has to keep his mind absolutely empty. And then your spiritual will come to you. It will naturally come. That's how he felt. He felt he was lifted. He felt he went into another space. And the same feeling like so many people describe it near to death.
Oh,
People.
yes.
People,
right.
yeah, that's exactly how his posture is to bring people, you're still alive, but you feel like you went in another space. That's where you'll see the God. That's where you will truly communicate with God. That's where you will see true yourself. That's the feeling he has it. I had that feeling too, by the way, even though you just interviewed him, but just like you know, I had
It's
not
a
as
family
many as he
interview.
does, but I proved I did have many occasions that I lost myself. I felt I was lifted as well. And it was just amazing. After anybody who experienced that, you feel you don't want to come back to this world. The other part of the world was so peaceful, it's so amazing. They what you see is what you feel that's most important is different. When I open my eyes, I feel like, oh, I don't want to come here. I look at my son was very little, just like about 4 months. I feel, do I know my son? I feel I don't know him. Anyway, it's amazing. So that's what Masley always wants to share with audience. Everybody has the ability. Everybody has it. Yeah.
这是光给我的答案。
So all his gift, all those years, lights,
就
give
给
him
我的答案，
answer,
也给我的礼物。
give him wisdom, give him the way, showing him the way.
我收到这个礼物，知道怎么样去解决自己的问题，也可以解决，知道用这种方法，这种礼物可以送给别人。我以前都是 free 送给很多人
He
去
says,
改变他们的
this
事。
gift is from God. He feel it's amazing. So he wants to share it with the world what gift he has it. And his life journey is really healing him, starting healing himself. and then healing other people. Now he's in the third stage. He wants to teach people. Actually, he's been teaching people to heal themselves. That's why he called it self-healing
Okay.
techniques. Yeah, that's called whole body prayers.
你说我因为我很感恩上帝给我很多很多的礼物，这礼物包括智慧，包括能力。
And he says he thank God every day, appreciated. He has very painful life story, but he always appreciated because God has given him so much.
Yes, I would say so. I do want to talk about the whole body prayer, but I've got a couple other questions because it seems as though today's world, that the medical world is really big, medicine, vaccines, treatments, surgeries, and now there's a whole part of our society that's going to move into artificial intelligence and chips in the brains and those kinds of things that promise this kind of longer life and all of that. But I think they're completely missing the point. They're completely missing the point because they're keeping people from recognizing this truth about our bodies and our real healing energy. Do you agree with that?
他说现在的科技都是在讲什么，在头里面装这个，在心脏这样那样子。他说，你同意？其实他们有个最重要的，他们没有发生，是他们忘记了我们自己的身体有很多的自愈的能力，就这意思吧？你同意还不同意？
What was the last part of the
你
question?
说你同意就行。
I was just wondering if you agreed or if I'm on the right track that this idea of artificial intelligence supplanting our life, chips and brains, helping us live longer, is it completely missing the point and keeping us from really accessing our true spiritual healing energy?
同意，
因为
不要，你先回答人家问题。
我同意。
He says he's absolutely agree with you.
Okay, I'm on the right track.
Yes, you are.
I do. I think we are created perfect and divine and whole and just have all of the capacity to heal ourselves, to live fully, to be happy, but we're fed all of this stuff by our society that keeps us from accessing God. And so we don't trust it. And we trust things outside of us versus, the inner energy that you're talking about.
Yes, Masley absolutely agree. Actually, in the class, some people ask him the same questions. So Masley's answer is, yes, you can use a cold metal, plastic, any of those technology into your body, but you cannot increase your spiritual energy. That's given from God.
Right.
That's the things
That's a
human
law.
is missing. Yes.
Yeah, conservation of
Yes.
energy. It's a law. Yeah.
Yes, law, you can't. Yeah, you have. He said, can you put energy into a machine, a live spiritual energy into a machine? I mean, you can't.
Right. You cannot. Right.
You cannot. This machine still has to operate by human. In the Bible, in the Genesis, he says, when God created the world, he created the light, the dark, the day. It's yin and yang, darkness and brightness. If you look at it, he says, it's Chinese, we call it yin yang. Yeah, man, woman. But what about machine? The God never saying, okay, I create this machine. I give spiritual energy into the machine. He never say that.
Right. Right.
因人有时候太自大了。上帝造了这个宇宙，造了这个地球，人类只是在其中了解了很小的一点点的科技，在这个整个的。 包括人类都是上帝造出来的，我们人有时候了解的东西太少了。
He says, human forgot where we're coming from. We are overlooked. We think we can conquer anything. We can go to space. We can go to here and there. He says, planet is so small into the whole God's world. It's almost when we look at ants. The ants can build a beautiful house themselves. Thousands of ants. Humans sometimes is just like ants. We think we're so powerful, but from God's angle, human could be as tiny as a dirt, a cell. God's ruling this world. You can't escape from his hand. He can let us live. He can also destroy us. But we think about human, we think we're so big, we can do so many things. But think about solar system. Think about so many things that are unknown. For example, he said there's hurricane. Human soul have full of ability. Can you let hurricane go away? Can you do that? You can't. When there's storm, when there's fire, yeah, human has the power, right? Can you just let fire go away? You cannot. Why there's danger or disaster? Human can't conquer it, can't handle it. Why? It's way beyond our abilities.
I am curious about, this is a little side topic, but in the book and what you guys are talking about now, you have an influence of the Christian Judeo tradition and also Taoism, and it seems as though you speak those languages fluently. I'm curious how the Christian theology came into your life.
你是怎么样？基督教是怎么样进入你的生活的？
基督教是在我
以后，
我来美国以后，我基督教是从来到美国以后，才逐渐了解这个西方文化。西方文化最大的核心的文化就是基督教文化。那对我来讲，我对这个文化，不管是东方也好，西方，我对文化非常感兴趣，因为这是神给予我们人的文化。那么这里涵盖了我们从我们的宇宙到这个地球到人类的怎么来的，就跟创世纪一样。那我这样去通过圣经了解这个圣经里头，每个宗教里头都是在描述神给我们人类的智慧都在里头和能力都在里头。
He says he was born in China in 1964. At that time, the religions was not absolutely prohibited. So he was not able to know any religions besides Buddhism and Taoism. It was later years he was able to read some of the books. And Christianity, Bible was time when he first came to the United States in 1994. He and his friend stayed in a local motel. And there was one night he just opened the drawer, by nightstand. He saw there's book. So he took it out. He said, "That's all English."
Free.
And he was asking his friend, say, "What is this?" So the guy took out, says, "It's Bible." He said, "What does that mean?" So his friend explained to him the first chapters, Genesis, and he was shocked. And he felt at that moment a light came in, the bird was singing. He felt again his body was filled with this strange feeling. He felt he knew about it. And he says, "My God, it was so amazing." So he asking his Chinese friend, says, "Can you get me a Chinese version?" And they says, yes. They went to a store that bought a Chinese version. And he says, he's just fell in love, almost like you're feeling. He can't let it go. He read like the whole night. He did not sleep. He just keeping reading them. And he just fell in love with it.
Wow.
And he says the Bible was the first book recorded so clearly from beginning to the end, where we are coming from, who we are,
Right.
what's the purpose.
圣经就像一宝藏一样。
He says it's treasure. It even tells you about your family, about individual. In Daoism and in other, it didn't show who's the God.
Yeah.
It did not have that very clear description. But only in the Bible, he said, it's clearly Old Testament and New Testimony from God to Jesus Christ. And for all this journey, he just felt amazed. And especially when he read Jesus Christ's journey, he like, oh my God, I feel I know this person. I just know. I don't know. I have always feeling like Jesus went to the mountain, pray, right? All his disciples fell asleep.
Right.
Because it's the middle of night, of course. But he's human. But he has such a strong, he's gifted from God. He's God's son. So whatever his feeling is, other people can't feel it. Of course, when you want to do something, you don't want to do it, you feel tired. But Jesus is just different. He says he just feel it. He feel
He was the light.
He was with him. Yeah, he just like, oh, I knew this guy, you know? And then he can explain to the people right away why Jesus has healing power. You know,
Right.
in the New Testimony that says Jesus healed like a bleeding woman, healed paralyzed people. He said, oh, I healed my mother, by the way. But he never really speak about it because he feel, oh, that's probably, accident. Oh, that probably not really that. When he first healing the patient, he was sharing with me the other night. He says, when I asked Masley to heal people, he said, oh, I don't know if I can do it. I feel I could. Let me try. So he healed one person and he didn't know if it was working. And the guy says, oh, I feel so good. He said, let me try it again. Yeah, that's how he started his healing.
Right.
And when he came to the United States, he healed a woman who, she's famous pianist. She still played pianos. And she had this bleeding problem. Every time when she played piano, she started bleeding. And Massey healed her as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when he read the Bible in Chinese version, he says, my God, now when people ask me how Jesus can heal people, he says, I can tell them. I can share the story because I went through the journey.
I felt the same way reading your book. I felt this is how Jesus healed people. And you were talking earlier about you have to want to be well. You have to want to live. You have to want to live. And Jesus would ask people, do you want to be healed? He would ask them. And then I feel as though the energy within them healed themselves. But go ahead, you can translate.
Yeah. 他说呢，耶稣那时候说的经历，我给他讲很多故事，就是耶稣的经历。但是耶稣那时候问他给他的们跟别人治病，他问你想不想好？因为当时我跟他们讲是不是有条件的。
Yeah. Yeah.
Very much, yeah. So now we know.
Yes,
we have all the secrets, all the secrets of the Bible.
Yes, he enjoyed the Bible. Asked me, I said, why do you enjoy reading? He said, oh, I'm telling you, I feel I'm reading myself.
It is a story. It is a personal story. You can look at it that way. Most people don't look at it that way, but it is a personal story.
Yes, to him, it's personal story, especially all the Jesus, why he was portrayed. And there's something else that was not recorded in the book. He was portrayed, he was thrown out from his own school. And he was put on cross, not really cross,
no, I
but he was put in modern cross.
Yes.
So he was suffering. It was pain. It took him 10 years because the people who he loved the most, beside me and Alex, he has 24 disciples. And 6 of them, which is his core group value, portrayed him, so put him out of school, and he was suffered. So I still remember one night he was reading how Jesus being crucified, and he cried.
Yeah.
He said, now I even have that deep feeling because I'm going through the heart being bleeding. He said Jesus even went through more pain because he was there. And he says, compared to Jesus Christ, it's nothing. The pain is nothing.
Yeah. Okay.
I understand. I think it's everyone's story, but it's particularly a story of a healer or somebody who really has an awareness of God, that you're going to experience betrayal and denial and unjust trials and the cross and the tomb and resurrection, a rebirth, a coming back to life.
但是所以像师父这样的，就经历了这种背叛，经历了被否认，现在要重新又重生了。是的。He says, exactly. You describe it right. Yes, right now it's time for his rebirth.
Yes, and that's what we're doing here.
Funny thing yes, that's a funny story I want to share with you. From very little, he's been keeping saying 56, this number. 56 is his lucky number. He didn't know what it means. Until he was 56 years old. That's the time for his rebirth.
Oh.
你说我很感恩这个。
That's amazing, right?
Yes.
He didn't know what that means until at the age of 56. He finally walked out from the pain, from suffering, from destruction, from anything he has been encountered. and came to alive. He started writing the book you have read. Yeah. And
Yes.
he started share his story. He's been hiding for some years. He has to heal himself. It was very painful. And finally at age of 56, he started talking to people again, open his heart because he got healed.
你说我的人生经历，就是说 God 给我很多的人生经历，让我更成熟。在成熟中遇到越多的磨难，我的礼物越多，我面对解决的问题的能力越强。
Now he says, up to date, he realized every pain, good or bad, is always God's journey. Wants him to experience this.
每一次
And
磨
gladly
难，就
he
像每一次的
never
生
give up. He always look up his Godfather, always want to give himself to God and finish the journey he's supposed to do.
每一次磨难就是一次重生。
So every suffering to him is to make the wisdom more mature, to let him rebirth.
Well, I know in the
Yeah,
book he talks about how I can't remember if he was talking about the whole body prayer or about healing, but that it takes conviction and faith. And that's what it sounds like you're talking about for your own journey, is that it took conviction and also faith.
说就是信念一直支持师父走到现在的。
Yes.
He said, yes, the faith is the only thing carrying him until today. You know, all this year people thinking he's crazy. Even my son always telling his dad, said, Dad, you have making so much money. Why don't you enjoy your life? Go travel, go buy luxury stuff. Why you always stay in your study room and read and doing this meditation? I mean, and every time his dad is just laughing and saying, yeah, right, honey, you don't know me yet. So he's still thinking he's crazy, right, Alex?
Yep.
Well, what son doesn't
Biggest
think their
critic.
parents are crazy? That's your job, Alex, to think your dad's crazy. Everyone else is going to put him up.
On your toes, right?
Yeah. Got to keep it human. Yeah. You know what? I want to talk about the whole body prayer, but one thing I was also really moved about in your story, Lee, is when you talked about spiritual bypass, and that early on that you felt that that you were here to save the world, and then had to get kind of humble. Yeah, had to get kind of humble and you shifted into being satisfied with teaching like who's in front of you. And can you speak a little bit to that? Because I think that's a real painful journey for spiritual teachers.
Alex, 您给你他翻译一下吗？我没有听懂他问了什么问题。
好的，他说，他在读你的书，然后在里面那个书你讲了一个东西，就是说他很感动你有一句那个什么在说，你本来以为你是自己就是要救这个世界的人，不过呢，最后 humble 中文怎么说？
就很谦卑的，
很谦卑的，然后发现你需要 focus 中文怎么说？
你就直接说吧。
你需要 focus on 你前面的人。他说你能不能讲讲你这个经验？
你的前面的人没听。
前面就是耶稣啊，
就是你现在你前面的，就是你现在前面的学生，前面你周围的人。
Is that me?
Could you repeat the question? I don't think I translated.
This is a hard one. That's okay. He talked about in his book, he talked about when he was in the United States. Okay, when you're in the United States and you had the prophecy and thought that you were here, you wanted to save the world. And you put that ad out in the newspaper and nothing really happened. And you called that spiritual bypass, that you had to instead recognize you're not going to do this grand thing, but that it was going to come in a different way. Does that make sense?
That was very good. Yes, I got it right now. I
Okay.
keep laughing because I was with him all this journey. Let me
Okay.
translate to him. 他就
Okay.
在讲，钱你拿到那个
经
书以后，你都变成一个人，花那么多钱，然后你认为你就可以拯救世界，你就可以五教统一什么什么的，最后你发现根本不是这样的。所以你能不能讲一下，就是讲一下这个，你大概少讲点，我可以多讲点。
因为当我拿到那个上帝的预言的时候，这本经书的时候，看到了 看到书中的有我在这个书中有记载，那么我的使命是什么？当时看到这种，我有一种使命感，需要去拯救世界或改变这个世界，让世界会变得更好。结果我就按照光指引的方向去走的时候，去做的时候，突然发现不是这么简单的。你发个声音，他们就会听见的。这时候当时感觉自己，现在回想起来自己很幼稚，但是这是我信仰的力量，我相信我光给我带来的一切的选择和做法。
We keep him laughing. He laughing himself too. He says in year 2000, during one night meditation, the light told him he need to go back to his hometown, getting this book. After he got book, he was crying all the way from Shenyang to Beijing because the book showed him who he was, where he was from. He always questioned, where is my talents from? Where's my gift? What I'm supposed to do? What's the purpose of me? He has been doubting that, asked that question all his life. He says, this book, God's prophecy, and clearly tell him who he is, what gift he has. He says, I got so excited when I come back to the Atlanta. I put ads out the 7 countries. I spent $70,000 in newspaper.
Wow.
I feel okay. Everybody in the world will hear me. All I need to do is give a little sound. It's just like a playing music. There's sound came. People come to me. I can save the world. I can help the world. He says, I was full of help. At that time, of course, he says, I must be crazy. I was truly crazy. At that time, our saving was about $150,000, but he spent half of the savings
Wow.
into the newspaper.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really crazy.
Yeah.
He says,
go ahead.
But to him, it's really the power of the face. If he would not be gifted having this face, he would not last today. He cannot walk up today. But he realized that not every time when light told him something, it will be good. He has some other stories, like when he was 27, when he was in Japan, the light told him he needed to marry this woman at this date. He met this woman, he got married, but you know what? 5 years later, he divorced her. So he says, not every time the light give him a gift. It's a good gift.
Well, I think that was a gift in the whole process of life. It's like every step gets you where you need to go eventually, but sometimes it's like, what was that about?
Yes.
Yeah, it's crazy. But I really thought that was such a cute story, because I think that especially if you're gifted like Master Li is, that, it makes sense that you would think, if I just did this, then I, I'll save the world. But God always has another plan. It's always just a little different. It's more, it's different. And so here you are fulfilling the plan through your book and your teachings. And I kind of want to turn to that. So let's talk about what is your message and your purpose, and what do you want to tell everyone about the full body prayer?
想告诉别人 whole body prayer 到底是什么？
Whole body prayer 是改变人的、修复人的这个心灵，通过身体的修复，告诉人的这种每一个人都有治愈的能力，每个人通过这个治愈的方法都可以去见到光，见到上帝。那么让每个人恢复人跟上帝之间的这种连接，让每个人未来他们希望他们要达到的未来的，他们想去回到我们每个心中都想回去的原来的那个家，就是所谓的天堂。
Master Li wants to teach people whole body prayers to open the door to get connection to God eventually. Through the whole body prayer, not only you can learn to heal yourself physically, but the power is also you can heal mental disease. And this self-healing gift is within each single of us. we all can do this health healing techniques. We all can learn to heal ourselves, not really just a mental disease, not really just a physical disease. It can heal physically, mentally, and spiritually. When he says spiritually, he says it's really where you see true yourself. Actually, you can communicate with God.
那圣经里有2句话讲得非常清楚，因为人想去修复是一个不只是想象，而是现实真正能去做到实现它的。包括圣经讲的圣洁的殿有圣洁的灵，那么就是说圣洁的殿是指的人的身体，圣洁，你这个圣洁的殿，身体圣洁了，心灵自然就会圣洁。
He says in the Bible is saying you need to have a pure temple in order to have a pure spirit. To him, pure temple is our body. Human needs to learn to heal, repair ourselves in order to purify our spirit.
一个 example，
They are connected each other.
一个 example， 我们人就像灵魂一样，房子就像身体一样。那我们每一个家庭来讲，这个人，你说一个人的心情好坏的好坏，如果一个房子很破烂，或者到处会漏水，就像人的身体一样，到处会生病，那你一个人的心灵在里头住，会开心吗？
He says he make another example. Let's imagine our physical body is like a house, and our spirit is the person who live in the house. We all want to have a beautiful home, house is well maintained, make us feel comfortable. What do you imagine your house is leaking water, it's filled with rats, it's filled with dust, it's filled with trash. Just like if we are so sick physically, how would we able to purify our spirit? That's something he wants to emphasize through the whole body prayer. You have to heal your physical disease.
我们有方法将房子修好，
And we
为什
have
么
the
我们
way
没有
to fix
我
our
们其实也
room.
有方法把身体修好。
We have a way to make our home comfortable. So whoever live in this house feel like, oh, this is warm, this house, I can relax. If human is sick, how you can relax?
Yes.
You'll be suffering, it's pain. And don't even talk about purify your spirit.
一个很简单的道理，
So to him, this is very simple knowledge. But so many people around him totally ignore our body.
Right.
It's
He-
fact.
Yeah, he didn't understand it. Why? Why people don't maintain it? This is your body, you use it every day. He always telling us, saying, your body is your closest thing at you. He always asking, who's close to you? Nobody giving him an answer. Says, oh, I'm close to my husband, my kids is close to him, my love is close to him, my parents, blah, blah, blah. Nobody's saying your body. Your body is your assets. It's most important assets. Why humans just abandon and humans just abuse it? He used to get a knife. He says, hey, when you have emotionally up and down so much, you're using your knife, cut your heart, cut your liver, cut your kidney. When we cut ourselves, we're bleeding. He says so many times we're cutting our internal organ. We don't even pay attention because you can't see it.
每个人都有房子，都维持得很好，为什么反而我们就不会维持身体？
He says most of people in the United States have a beautiful home. We decorated, we painted,
有
color
花有
coded,
草
flowers,
Yeah.
outside landscaping. It's
It's
just
color.
gorgeous.
Okay.
But why we maintain our house, not maintain our body?
Why?
He says,
Yeah.
why?
It's God. It's Bible 里说的很清楚，怎么样得到益处。Bible 里一直很告诉你，得到礼物，你会得到这个益处是什么？不管你的身体，不管你的心灵，不管你的先生，不管你的太太、你的孩子、你的父母，都会告诉你怎么样去受益。就像一个家庭的房子一样，有不同的房间，你都应该打理得非常好。
He says in the Bible, it clearly stated the benefit of the meditation. Like Jesus, he went to the mountain, he was doing meditation.
I agree.
I mean, even though he was praying, that's why he called it whole body prayers, except some part was left out over there. But it's showing the benefit through the Bibles everywhere, seeing the benefit. we need maintain our physical body. You know, physical body and spiritual body that talks every day. If we don't even maintain our physical body, where is if your house is leaking, is so filthy, how this person will feel happy? He said, is that possible? I mean, no way, he says. But that's a relationship between our physical body and spiritual body. They were fighting because we are so sick.
Right.
And we can't purify our spirit. There's no way.
We are so
Okay.
sick.
So to him, whole body prayer, whole body prayer is the first way he wants to show to the world that there's way you can heal yourself besides pills, besides painkiller, besides surgery. Can you at least give it a try? Try that out 30 minutes a day. You know, it won't kill you. Of course, you feel a little tired.
So no matter what condition your body is, if it's diseased or if you're very, very thin or overweight or very old, or no matter what condition that your body is in, this whole body prayer, you can start it no matter what.
Correct.
Okay. And
Correct.
what do we tell? I know you guys have a video. I know you have the book, and I don't know if you teach classes, but let's just say, everybody who's listening wants to learn the whole body prayer. What should they do?
We will be offering 3 types of teaching. First, we will be offering online teaching.
Okay.
Second will be our app. We have a whole body prayer app will be on the
nice.
market. Yes. And it almost done will be launched probably beginning of July
Okay.
of this
This
year.
Uh-huh.
Yes, we're also going to offer events. We're going to teach people in live person how to do whole body prayers. So the people can choose online classes or subscribe on the app, or they can, when we have events going on, they can register and sign for live events as well.
And will that be,
this one will be going on.
will the live
I'm sorry.
events be in Atlanta, or will you be traveling?
We don't know yet. At beginning, it might be Atlanta, but eventually, like what we used to, we travel and we giving lectures.
Okay. All right. Make sure you give me all of the links to all of that. And also as they kind of unfold, even like the app in July, even though this podcast will be up in a 10 days or so, because I'll put it on the podcast page so that people can access this information. And I think so. Can you, just for people who want to hear now, can you just give a brief description of what the position looks like and what the whole body prayer is?
Alex, can you show position?
Sure. Just do a demo maybe, and then you can explain what,
Yes.
or I'll explain.
Yeah, do a
it since-
demo and also explain, because some will just be on audio and some will be able to watch the video. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Alex, can you
All right. So first, I guess you stand. Oh, here. You stand with your legs like shoulder width apart, and then it's just almost like you're standing straight. You keep your spine as straight as possible, and your knees a little bit. Put your arms up as if you're like praying,
Yes.
And then you tilt your head a little bit, close your eyes, put your tongue to the roof of your mouth, and then that's it. Ta-da! Oh, that's right. I forgot the most important part. You want to like suck your stomach in.
Okay.
Real hard.
Yeah. And then tighten your
Behind.
sphincter.
Okay. Okay. I was wondering if that sphincter was going to be in there or not.
So that's essentially how you do it.
Keeping your lungs.
Oh, and when you're breathing, make sure you like inhale through your chest instead of your stomach. So it's like,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Okay, so it's not belly breathing. It's from the lungs versus the belly breathing.
Correct.
Okay, interesting. So and then you would, I know you do it for hours, Master Li, but the rest of us, you recommend 30 minutes to start? Is that what you recommend?
Well, that works. For people who doesn't have any disease, they can start at 5 minutes.
Okay.
People with any of disease, we recommend it starting 30 minutes. If they
Okay.
have cancer, and incurable
从5分
disease,
钟开始一
they
点
need to do 2 hours in daily.
Okay.
重
That's how past 25 years we have teaching so many people, so many testimony, and so many people get healed after to do this posture. It's so powerful. But so we'll start in 5 minutes. You're adding 1 minute each day. And if you're sick, do 30 minutes. If you feel you can't stand on the ground, you can actually against the wall, like this, against this wall.
Okay.
It will supporting you. That will be okay too. And again, if you have a cancer, if you have lupus, if you have heart disease, if you have lung cancer, I mean, there are so many diseases in the world.
Yes.
We recommend 2 hours a day. You cannot stop every day. Normally, if you do very sick people, the first 3 days, they feel they have a strength. They feel they can get it going. Okay. So that's the power. They give you the energy right away. Yeah.
What they
Okay.
told me was just like showing up is more important than not doing it at all. So even if you do 5 minutes
如
or
果有
whatnot,
有症状的会要听这个。OK， 你说。那么其实练功检验练功的效果最好的方式，就是说你如果人有症状了，比如说扭伤的，或者腿受伤啊、胳膊受伤啊，或哪个地方疼痛的，练功的时候你会在半个小时你就能感觉到这个疼痛的这种症状会减轻。
Yeah, the more sicker the people is, the more quickly they can feel the healing power. They feel much better right away. It's
Oh,
very
that's
after 30
interesting.
minutes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's very interesting, especially if you are sick. For example, if you have sore throat, if you feel, oh, I have catch cold, I'm so sick, I feel I don't want to eat, whatever the sickness you have, the sicker you'll feel much better. So you just do it over here, there, 30 minutes, you open your eyes feeling, I feel refreshing. I feel I can walk. I feel I want to eat. Yes.
Well, that's what we need to teach everybody next time there's some pandemic. We should do the full body
yes.
prayer instead of all that
Oh,
stuff.
yes. It's because one of the culture is using a long breeze, right? Our lung is very fragile. It's when you had it affected, it's the cell got blocked. So that's why making people can't breathe. You know,
Right.
we had one of the true story is one of my office clerk's son. He's like 18 years old and he got COVID way before vaccine has started, you know, the first thing. And he was so sick. So I told his dad, I said, hey, you know, this is a free. You want to try it out? And you never know, because at that time we didn't have a vaccine yet. And he was so sick. So he tried it out. You know what? 3 days, he got recovered. Just doing 30 minutes.
There you
And
go.
COVID was gone.
There you go.
Yeah,
你
that's
说
amazing, right?
练功想
Because just breathing exercise itself,
Yeah.
just breathing. We're going to have video teaching people how to breathe. You can just sit in the chair, just do the breathing. And you realize your lung capacity will increase fast.
Yeah.
We will show this one in our app, how to breathe. And we'll show step by step. You know, normally we'll say breathe in and breathe out. So this is 30-day cycle. You'll realize that most of people can increase when breathing 15 seconds. Breathe in, breathe out. You can hold for 15 seconds. Most people can reach their goal.
Oh,
你
that'd
就
be
练
great.
功了就想。
Yes.
OK，
So we're going to offer a lot of very unique techniques through our app, online, and we just want to share this knowledge. And so everybody at least can benefit themselves right away. But the only precondition is you have to do it.
You have to have conviction and faith.
Yes.
OK，
Okay.
还有一个给他讲一个经验，就是练功像怀孕一样。
让他先说问题。
OK， go。
Is there
我
something
还有一
more?
个讲，
你还想说什么？
我还想说一下，如果有生过孩子的女人，其实练功最容易参照的就是怀孕的感觉。 你怀孕半个小时，就是那种怀孕那种
不能说
8点哦，OK，
就是
好吧。
He wanted to share more story. I said, don't worry about it. It's okay.
Okay. Okay. All right. I think we're coming near a close. I'm wondering if there's anything else you want to share. I think you've told your story. I think it's very inspiring, and you shared about the whole body prayer, and we'll have the links to the apps and everything else. Is there anything else you want to say before we close?
你还要再说什么吗？
没有了，暂时没有了。
谢谢他。
你说非常感谢他，让我们有这个机会来陈述一下我们这个 body prayer。
Yeah, Leslie says, thank you, Carrie, very much. You giving him and us opportunities to be here to share our story with everybody who is listening to your program. This is a great experience to him. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
It's a great experience for me too. I love seeing the whole family together, and I'm just so appreciative of the work you're doing. And I just hope a lot of people learn about the whole body prayer. I look forward to your app coming out, and don't forget to give me all the links to all of that. I've got your links to your 2 videos, your website, the book. I just need the app when it's time for that to come out, so people can learn how to download that. Or they just go to their phone and search on whole body prayer. Is that what it will be?
Yes, that's
Okay.
we call it WBP. Yes, you search it, it will come up just same as everything else. Download it, and there you go.
Okay, great. And it'll be called the whole body prayer, and that's wonderful. Okay, well let's heal the world now, Master Li. Now let's go save it.
Yes, let's heal the world together.
Let's heal the world together. Okay, thank you so much for your generous stories and everything today. And this is a very unique experience, I think, for everyone who's listening because of the translation. And but it was definitely worth it. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Carol.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you too.
Okay.
Yeah. And I now
Bye.
close the
Bye-bye.
spiritual forum. Bye bye.